There is a strange contradiction happening in the United States today. Turn on the television and you'll hear that the economy is growing. Stock markets remain strong. Unemployment is relatively low. Corporate profits continue to make headlines. On paper, America appears remarkably resilient. But walk through neighborhoods, talk to families, speak with small business owners, and you'll hear a very different story. Many people feel like they're working harder, yet getting less in return. Paychecks arrive, but they disappear faster than ever. The cost of everyday life has changed. Housing costs remain high, insurance premiums continue to rise. Healthcare is becoming more expensive. Even simple grocery trips feel different than they did just a few years ago. So how can both of these realities exist at the same time? How can the economy look healthy while millions of Americans feel financially stretched? The answer begins with one number: GDP. Gross domestic product is designed to measure the total value of goods and services produced inside a country. When GDP grows, the economy is considered to be expanding. But GDP has an important limitation. It measures production. It does not measure financial comfort. A rising GDP does not automatically mean families are becoming wealthier. It simply means the economy is producing more. That difference is often overlooked. Imagine two families. Both receive the same paycheck. One family spends more on rent, higher insurance, and rising grocery bills. The other family lives in an area where expenses remain lower. On paper, their incomes look identical. In reality, their financial lives are completely different. This is exactly what is happening across large parts of the United States. Economic growth continues, but the cost of maintaining the same lifestyle continues to increase. That creates pressure. Not dramatic pressure overnight, quiet pressure. Pressure that slowly changes how people live. Families postpone vacations. They delay replacing old cars. Restaurants become occasional treats instead of weekly routines. Subscriptions are canceled. Budgets become tighter. None of these decisions create national headlines, but together they reshape consumer behavior. And consumer behavior matters because consumer spending accounts for a large share of the American economy. When households become more cautious, businesses notice. Companies begin adjusting inventory. Hiring slows. Expansion plans are delayed. Investment decisions become more selective. The economy may still grow, but its momentum begins to change. This is why economists spend so much time watching consumer confidence. Confidence cannot be touched. It cannot be counted like cash, but it influences almost every financial decision people make. When confidence is strong, people spend. Businesses invest. Markets become optimistic. When confidence weakens even slightly, the entire economic system begins adjusting. This shift rarely happens overnight. It develops quietly. That is why many economic turning points are only recognized after they have already begun. Today, another powerful force is reshaping the American economy: technology. Artificial intelligence is increasing productivity across multiple industries. Businesses are learning how to produce more with fewer resources. For investors, this is exciting. Higher productivity often leads to higher profits. That helps explain why parts of the stock market continue performing well. But productivity creates another question. If companies become more efficient, what happens to workers whose jobs can be automated? History shows that technological revolutions create new opportunities, but they also create periods of uncertainty. The transition is rarely smooth. Some industries grow rapidly, others struggle to adapt. That is the silent shift taking place today. The headlines celebrate growth, the markets celebrate innovation. But beneath the surface, millions of Americans are trying to understand where they fit into this new economy. And that question may become one of the most important economic stories of the decade. The pressure on American households did not appear overnight. It built slowly, year after year. Many families believed that prices would eventually return to normal. But for millions of people, that moment never arrived. Today, housing remains one of the biggest financial challenges. Buying a home has become far more difficult than it was just a few years ago. Higher mortgage rates, combined with higher home prices, have pushed monthly payments beyond what many families can comfortably afford. Even renting has become more expensive in many cities. For young adults, owning a home now feels like a long-term goal instead of a realistic short-term plan. Housing affects much more than shelter. When families spend a larger share of their income on housing, they have less money available for everything else: restaurants, travel, entertainment, savings, and investments. The entire economy begins to feel the effect. Then comes another challenge: inflation. Inflation is often explained as rising prices, but for ordinary families, it feels much more personal. It means grocery bills increase, fuel costs become unpredictable, insurance premiums continue to rise, healthcare expenses become harder to manage. One price increase may seem small, but when dozens of everyday expenses rise together, the financial pressure becomes impossible to ignore. This changes consumer behavior. People begin comparing prices more carefully. They delay unnecessary purchases. Luxury items become less important. Discount stores become more attractive. Families become more cautious with every dollar they spend. Businesses notice these changes immediately. Retail companies monitor customer spending every day. Restaurants watch reservation numbers. Automobile manufacturers track vehicle sales. Technology companies observe consumer demand. When spending slows, businesses adjust. Some reduce hiring. Others postpone expansion plans. Some introduce discounts. Others become more selective with investments. This is why consumer confidence matters so much. It is not just a number in an economic report. It reflects how millions of people feel about their financial future. When confidence is strong, people spend more freely. When confidence weakens, they become cautious. And when millions of people become cautious at the same time, the economy begins to change. Not because businesses suddenly fail, but because consumers quietly change their habits. This is the silent shift that rarely becomes the biggest headline, yet it influences almost every part of the American economy. And while families adjust their budgets, another transformation is taking place behind the scenes. Technology is changing how businesses operate. Artificial intelligence is helping companies improve efficiency. Automation is reducing repetitive tasks. Digital systems are replacing traditional processes. For many businesses, this creates new opportunities: higher productivity, lower operating costs, faster decision-making. But every technological revolution also creates uncertainty. Workers begin asking important questions. Will my job still exist in 5 years? Will my skills remain valuable? Will technology create more opportunities or replace existing careers? History suggests that innovation usually creates new industries, but the transition is rarely easy. Some workers adapt quickly. Others need new skills. Entire industries can change within a decade. The American economy has experienced these transitions before, from manufacturing to computers, from the internet to smartphones. Now, artificial intelligence may be the next major transformation. The question is no longer whether AI will change the economy. The question is how quickly that change will happen, and who will benefit the most. As businesses continue evolving, the future of work may become one of the defining economic stories of the next decade. As technology continues to reshape industries, another challenge is quietly becoming impossible to ignore: the national debt. For decades, the United States has relied on borrowing money to finance government operations. Every year, Congress approves spending on defense, healthcare, education, infrastructure, and many other essential programs. When government spending exceeds tax revenue, the difference is covered by borrowing. that borrowing becomes part of the national debt. At first, this may not sound unusual. After all, families borrow money. Businesses borrow money. Even successful companies take on debt to invest in future growth. But government debt works differently. Unlike a household, the United States has the ability to issue treasury securities that investors around the world are willing to buy. These treasury securities are considered among the most trusted financial assets in global markets. Banks buy them. Pension funds invest in them. Insurance companies hold them. Foreign governments also purchase them as part of their financial reserves. This global demand has allowed the United States to borrow at a scale that few other countries could sustain. However, borrowing is never completely free. Every dollar borrowed eventually creates interest payments. As debt grows, those interest costs also increase. Money that could be invested in new infrastructure, scientific research, or education must also be used to pay interest on existing debt. That creates difficult choices for future policymakers. Should taxes increase? Should government spending be reduced? Or should borrowing continue? There are no easy answers. This is one of the most debated questions in modern economics. Some economists argue that debt remains manageable as long as the economy continues growing. A larger economy can support a larger amount of debt. Others believe that if borrowing continues rising much faster than economic growth, future generations could face greater financial pressure. The debate continues because no economy remains exactly the same forever. At the center of many of these discussions stands another powerful institution, the Federal Reserve. Although many people believe the Federal Reserve controls the entire economy, its role is far more specific. Its primary objectives include maintaining price stability, supporting maximum employment, and promoting a stable financial system. One of its most influential tools is interest rates. When inflation becomes too high, higher interest rates can help slow economic activity. When economic growth weakens significantly, lower interest rates may encourage borrowing, investment, and consumer spending. Finding the right balance is never simple. Every decision affects businesses, investors, families, and financial markets. Sometimes the results appear quickly. Other times, the full impact may take months or even years to become visible. That is why every Federal Reserve announcement is watched so closely across the world. Financial markets respond. Businesses adjust their plans. Investors reconsider their strategies. And consumers often feel the effects without realizing where they began. The economy is not controlled by a single decision. It is shaped by millions of choices made every single day. Businesses decide whether to invest. Families decide whether to spend or save. Banks decide whether to lend. Investors decide where to place their money. Together, those individual decisions create the larger economic picture we all see. And understanding those connections may be more important today than ever before. The future of the American economy will not be decided by a single event. It will be shaped by millions of decisions made every day. Consumers will decide whether to spend or save. Businesses will decide whether to hire or invest in new technology. Investors will decide where to put their money. And policymakers will continue searching for the right balance between economic growth, price stability, and long-term prosperity. History has shown that the United States has faced major economic challenges before: the Great Depression, the oil crisis, the financial crisis of 2008, the global pandemic. Each period created uncertainty. Each period changed the economy forever. But each period also created new opportunities. Innovation has always played an important role in America's economic story, from railroads to automobiles, from computers to the internet. And now, artificial intelligence may become the next major turning point. The biggest question is not whether change is coming. Change is already happening. The real question is, Who will adapt first? Businesses that embrace innovation may become tomorrow's market leaders. Workers who continue learning new skills may discover opportunities that never existed before. Investors who understand long-term economic trends may make better financial decisions. The economy is not simply about numbers. It is about people. Every paycheck, every family, every small business, every entrepreneur, every decision contributes to a much larger picture. That is why understanding the economy matters. Not because it predicts the future with certainty, but because it helps explain the forces shaping our lives today. The headlines will continue changing. Markets will rise. Markets will fall. New technologies will emerge. New industries will appear. Some predictions will prove correct. Others will not. But one fact remains unchanged. The global economy never stands still. Those who continue learning continue adapting, and those who adapt are often the ones best prepared for the future. Perhaps the greatest economic advantage is not having perfect information. It is having the willingness to keep learning, even when the world keeps changing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more in-depth analysis of the U.S. economy, global markets, artificial intelligence, and the future of finance, consider subscribing to Hidden GDP, because sometimes the biggest economic stories are the ones hidden beneath the headlines.